Tonight on KVR News, keeping it daily. The Texans spared from printing cuts as the Moody College promises additional funding.
40 Acres Fest, a great marketing tool for student orgs, but some feel it's too late in the semester.
And fighting crime, how one group is using social media to take down the bike thieves.
You're watching KVR News, Austin's leader for live, local UT coverage.
Broadcasting live from the Texas Student Television Studios at the University of Texas. You're watching KVR News at 9, Austin's leader for live local UT coverage. Your news starts right now.
Good evening. You're watching KVR News for Monday, March 24th. I'm Taylor Hampton.
And I'm Rachel Robillard. Thanks for joining us tonight for 24/7 edition of KVR News. We'll have more information on TSTV's fundraiser coming up later in the broadcast.
First tonight, though, tuition for UT students could increase next fall, and a new proposal will be submitted to the Board of Regents Wednesday. Last week, 3 town hall meetings were held for students to discuss their opinions on the new proposals. The proposal recommends a 2.6% increase for in-state tuition, or an average of $127 per semester, and a 3.6% increase for out-of-state students. That is about $600 increase per semester. Junior Mukin Rathy feels the student leadership is not upholding their promise to represent the interest of the students.
So should be what students have voiced at town halls, which is that tuition increases are unfair, right? It's very clear that we have money and the Board of Regents should give us that money. That should be the proposal. It makes economic sense, right?
In 2012, the Board of Regents voted to not increase tuition, instead using money from the university's permanent fund. Rathy argues that it is not the student's job to come up with additional money, so the same should be done again.
There's no economic reason why it can't happen. The issue is that the Board of Regents don't want to, because then, it's their pot of money versus our pot of money.
Last October, the UT system issued instructions to submit an increased tuition proposal in December.
Nearly the entire fall semester to constitute a tuition policy advisory committee which has strong representatives from student leadership, to educate them on the whole budget of the university and allow them the opportunity, given all the facts, with all the facts on the table, to decide whether or not they think tuition ought to be increased.
In February, those proposals were withdrawn, and all 9 UT system schools were instructed to revise the proposals to include an increase for in-state tuition.
The reason we considered is because the university will not be in a position to compete nationally, sooner than people think if we don't start to see changes to our budget.
UT Senate President Andrew Clark says the situation is far from ideal. The committee has drafted a letter to send to the UT systems to let them know they are disappointed with the short time frames.
The amount of time we were given to consider a tuition increase on a campus of this size is just not acceptable.
Haggerty says he suspects the decision in May or June. Meanwhile, the committee is also proposing a Longhorn fixed tuition plan for students entering UT in fall 2014. The plan complies with Texas House Bill 29, which requires all universities to submit a fixed tuition plan. If students choose to do the plan, they will have a fixed tuition price for 4 years. That fixed tuition price is 4%.
The third victim of the South by Southwest crash was laid to rest yesterday. 26-year-old Sandy Lee died of her injuries last Sunday. 4 other people remain in hospital, now 11 days after Ashad Owens drove into a crowd during the music festival. He's been charged with capital murder for the incident that killed nearly 3 and injured nearly 2 dozen. An arrest warrant released Friday says Owens had a point of 0.114 blood alcohol content at the time of the crash. The legal limit is 0.08. Cleanup crews are scrambling after an oil spill in the Galveston Bay this weekend. More than 160,000 gallons of oil spill into the bay and with a barge crash into another ship yesterday. The spill caused the closure of one of the world's busiest transportation paths for petrochemicals. Governor Rick Perry opened up all necessary state resources to help with the cleanup.
What's important here is that we remove that oil from the environment as expeditiously as we can and protect our resources here in the bay.
I must inform you.
They're also concerned that a nearby bird habitat is at risk. Up to 70,000 birds could be in danger during this peak migration season. Perry says the state will do everything it can to clean up the spill quickly, with as little impact to the environment as possible. New developments today in the search for the missing Malaysia airplane. Prime Minister Najib Razak says new satellite data suggests the flight plunged into the sea west of Perth, Australia.
I must inform you that according to this new data, flight MH370 ended in the southern Indian Ocean.
Razak said in a news conference today that relatives of the missing passengers were told that the lives of all on board were lost. The announcement comes after a massive search for the plane that lasted more than 2 weeks. It's still unclear what caused the plane to go down. Investigators have not yet been able to find any wreckage in the area.
The Texan can expect to remain daily. The good news comes after Moody College of Communication Dean Roderick Hart promised to propose a business plan to UT President Powers.
The TSM entities were moved under the Moody College in January, and there are still several unanswered questions. But as Cassandra Adami reports, board members of the Dean Hart have a plan for the next 3 years.
It's a sigh of relief for the struggling Texas student media entities. A proposal consisting of 3 years of transitional funding is the promise that Dean Hart made at the TSM budget meeting last week. Prior to last week's meeting, the Daily Texan published an editorial asking for clear communication and support from university administration.
I realize that the editor of the Daily Texan thinks I've been goofing off for the last 3 months. But as a matter of fact, I've been studying TSM's finances, its current business plan, its alternative business plans.
The dean's plan brings hope to the struggling entities and also board members who initially faced the decision to make severe cuts within TSM.
This kind of apocalyptic threat that we've been juggling for a while is much more imaginary than it was yesterday.
Daily Texan editor Laura Wright says her editorial would have a different outlook given the proposal that was passed.
You know, honestly, I wouldn't have published it at all because the point of that was you haven't communicated with us about what you're going to do to save the Texan or TSM. And now, hopefully, they have, and hopefully they'll go forward with that.
The dean's proposal is not an absolute solution yet to the financial crisis. The funding ultimately needs to be approved by President Powers.
We can get, my goal would be to get this, some clarification from him by maybe the 10th of April or so, earlier if we can.
But for now, the doors at the TSM entities will remain open for the 2014-2015 academic year. Cassandra Jaramillo, KVR News.
Here at TSTV, the third annual 24/7 fundraiser is underway. Through the week, you'll see regularly scheduled programming, along with new shows, all created by students and all live. Texas Student Television is the only student-run and student-produced college television station in the country. This week, TSTV students will produce 168 hours of live content.
We go live for 24 hours a day for an entire week in an attempt to gain higher publicity around Austin.
During 24/7, TSTV hopes to gain additional viewers and advertisers. Through their talents, UT students are able to produce just about anything.
You'll see people doing things like giving how-to guides for monologues, writing monologues, all the way to script readings, and I think there's a yoga session planned tonight.
During 24/7, viewers will see new shows in addition to the regularly scheduled programs.
It's a really good opportunity for new volunteers and for veteran volunteers to showcase their talents or pitch a new show idea because we have so much time we need to fill. It's a little bit tiring, a little bit stressful, but at the end of it, you're like, whew. It's a good time.
Students are charged with the task of keeping the marathon going on for the rest of the week.
Still ahead, UT ranks among the world's best. Find out how the 40 acres compares to other universities.
And UTPD has a new initiative to get you helping to solve crime. The incentive, coming up on KVR News.
You're watching KVR News at 9. Your campus, your news.
Welcome back to KVR News. The University of Texas has ranked as one of the top universities in the world. The Times Higher Education ranked UT number 77 in its yearly ranking list. Among other schools in Texas, Rice ranks number 65 and Texas A&M number 150. The rankings are based of criteria including learning environment, industry income, and international outlook of staff and students, and the reputation of research.
It was a big weekend for student organizations on campus. 91 orgs gathered Saturday for the 22nd 40 Acres Fest. The annual 40 Acres Fest featured student organizations, live dance performances, and attractions.
Hi everyone, welcome to 40 Acres Fest 2014.
To kick off the first week in spring, there was a booth for petting rabbits and ducklings.
I think it's a great Kickstarter for spring. It always ends up being in March, and I think that that's a really essential time. Not only is the weather great, but I think people want to come out more.
Many organizations feel like the event is great for marketing. The Nepali Student Association loves how the event allows them to spread the Nepali culture outside the UT community.
We're selling momos or dumplings on campus. We are only able to interact with the people that we know or who we've worked with previously. This allows us to just have more exposure.
While the event brings thousands of people to the UT campus, some organizations think the timing could be better.
That 40 Acres Fest would be a lot more effective if it was at the beginning of the fall semester, because there's an awesome band playing, there's awesome activities going on, but I think people are already in a lot of organizations and they're committed to them. So I think something as grand as this would be perfect for the fall semester, but we're still here having fun, having a good time, getting the word out about Habitat.
After an afternoon of strolling through the booths, the headliner band Sleigh Bells brought even more students to the event. Well, thousands attended Roundup this weekend. With the high number of visitors, crimes in West Campus area involving alcohol increased.
We took a look at the statistics from the Austin and UT PD crime logs for the zip code 78705. They show 4 criminal mischief charges, 2 tickets for public intoxication, and 1 DWI. There was also 1 assault with injury reported in the area. UTPD is asking for the help in fighting crime. Joanna Lyles tells us how the UT community can do their part in helping to catch criminals.
Justice is served, with some pizza that is. UTPD's Hungry for Justice program is rewarding people for crime tips. Officer Piper created the program back in 2005 as a way to encourage more students to report any suspicious activity on campus.
I started asking myself, well, what would students need in order to report something? And I recalled my college days, and I remember that students would do just about anything for a free t-shirt or free food. The next day I came in, I kind of pitched the idea that we provide a pizza to anybody that reported suspicious activity that led to the apprehension of a bicycle thief.
Those who have heard about the program say it's a good way to reward people for helping keep the community safe.
I think is a worthy initiative, and if you get pizza out of it, you know, that's cool. Sounds like a win-win situation.
And there are others who say they would still report any suspicious activity even without a reward.
For myself, I think I would do it even without the pizza, but I think it's a good thing as well. Like it makes people kind of like more aware of their surroundings and everything.
Sergeant Valenta says community involvement is key to helping UTPD do its job as best as possible.
The public has a lot of help because they're out there in places that we can't be because we can't be everywhere at once.
Not many people know about the Hungry for Justice program, but UTPD is hoping to reach out to the UT community to work together in making the campus a safer place. Joanna Lyles, KVR News.
Well, one thing keeping UTPD busy is bike theft. It's an ongoing problem in Austin, but one group is taking a new approach. Alex Wilkins shows us how social media is being used to take down bike thieves.
Austin may be one of the most bicycle-friendly cities in the nation, but with that comes some unfriendly bike theft. Even around the University of Texas campus, one UT student said his bike was stolen from his apartment balcony despite being on the 3rd floor.
Just like 10 days before school ended, I was about to go out and I was with my friend, and then I looked and didn't see my bike there.
One group of Austin cyclists, self-titled the Sith Lord Vader Squadron, or SLVS, is teaming up to give people back their stolen bikes. The members created a Facebook page where anyone, including students, can post a description of their missing bike, and the group sets out to recover it.
We're doing a community service, no charge, that will all of us just want the rest of the community to kind of encourage to do so themselves, like recover bikes with us. Not with us, but at the same time with us.
The SLVS page says all their methods of recovery are legal and often successful, but that more prevention is needed. Already since January, there have been more than 50 cases of bicycle theft in the campus and West Campus areas alone, and UT Police Department say 90% of those cases were from bikes that were either incorrectly locked or not locked at all.
If they truly want to protect their bicycle, they'll use a U-lock and an independently locking cable lock. The reason for that is it takes two different types of tools to defeat each type of lock, and it takes twice as long. Most bad guys don't want to carry two tools, and they don't want to spend that much time trying to steal a bike.
UTPD says they welcome efforts to help reduce bike theft, but do not encourage students to approach alleged thieves for safety reasons. Alex Wilkins, KVR News.
Cool and cloudy today, but changes are in the forecast.
Alex Wilkins has the details after the break. What can we look forward to, Alex?
Well, a little bit of everything this week. Chances of rain and lots of sunshine. I'll have the full forecast next.
Have a news tip or story idea? Call the KVR News Tip Line, 475-8181.
Welcome back to KVR News. We finally saw some welcome rain in parts of Central Texas over the weekend, and we do have some more chances coming up this week. It's a mixed bag in terms of the forecast, actually, so buckle in and get ready for another roller coaster week of temperatures. Today was cool, only reaching 66 degrees in Austin this afternoon. That's 8 below average for this time of year. We do have a slight chance of some showers and storms this evening, about a 20% shot or so. It'll be another cool evening, down to 48 degrees as you wake up tomorrow. The sunshine will return Tuesday, and temperatures will climb up to about 70 or so, still just a little below average. We can expect changes on Wednesday. We're keeping a watch on a low pressure system approaching the area, bringing with it a 50% chance of showers and storms. Up to an inch of rain is possible in some areas, but most models are forecasting about half an inch or so. Temperatures will also fall down to the low 60s. A small chance for rain continues into Thursday, but temperatures will rebound back up to 79. And then look at Friday, beautiful weather with highs in the mid-80s. The spring-like weather will continue through the weekend with sunny skies and warm temperatures. So a little bit of everything this week. Make sure to keep the umbrella handy midweek and enjoy the sunshine this upcoming weekend. Live in the Weather Center, Alex Wilkins, KVR News.
All right, thanks, Alex. I'm truly looking forward to the sunshine this weekend. Still ahead, March sadness for the men's team, but the women are still in the game.
And a big win for Texas baseball this weekend, but how will they do in their next Big 12 matchup? You're watching KVR News.
Now, KVR News at 9 Sports.
Welcome back to KVR News. I'm College Press Box's Jeff Barker. It's the middle of March and the madness continues. Last Thursday, the Texas men's basketball team defeated Arizona State 87-85 on a buzzer beater, courtesy of Cam Ridley, to advance to the round of 32, where they would face Michigan. The season came to an end for Texas in a 79-65 loss on Saturday. Meanwhile, the women took on the Penn Quakers on Sunday, clinching their first NCAA tournament win since 2008. They take on Maryland tomorrow night in the next round. Back in Austin, Texas baseball hosted Columbia this past weekend. In the second game of the Saturday doubleheader, the Longhorns looked to sweep the series against the Lions. Let's head over to the dish for the highlights. Bottom of the first inning, Mark Payton slaps a little double down the left field line. Brooks Marlowe comes in to score. Texas up 1-0. Bottom of the second, Ben Johnson at bat singles up the middle. Malabano trying to come in to score on the play. Center fielder hits the cutoff man to the catcher. Malabano was safe, 2-0 Texas. Bottom of the second, Texas still up 2-0. The batter is Mark Payton. He slaps a little single up the middle. Advances to second on the overthrow. Brooks Marlowe comes in to score on the plate. Texas up 3-0 now. Top of the fourth now. Rob Powler at bat. Grounds out to the pitcher. 3-0 Texas still. 2 outs in the inning. Top of the 8th now, 1 out. Silbar at bat. Texas up 11-0. CJ Hinojosa able to hit the double play. Ends the 8th, and Texas goes on to win 11-0.
So, Jeff, Texas baseball struggled last year in dropping every Big 12 series to their opponents. They started this year off with another loss to Conference Series Kansas. They're going to be playing Texas Tech this weekend. How can we expect them to have success?
Well, it's going to be tough against Texas Tech. Texas Tech is a very good team. They just knocked off the number 24 TCU Horned Frogs in a series with them. Took 2 out of 3. But I think for Texas, the main thing is going to be they're going to need to get efficiency and consistency out of their starting pitching. Augie Garrido is going to need to get at least 5 to 6 innings out of these guys, especially since the competition's leveling up from playing teams like Dallas Baptist and Columbia. And then I think offensively they're going to need to score runs early and often.
All right, thanks, Jeff. Up next, Leslie Adami has your entertainment news. What's coming up, Leslie?
Big debuts over the weekend. Divergent hits the big screen as Lady Gaga premieres her new video, and who is finally on the cover of Vogue. Stay tuned for more KVR News.
You're watching KVR News at 9. Your campus, your news.
Welcome back to KVR News. We'll start out at the box office tonight. Divergent premiered this weekend, bringing more than $56 million. The adaptation of the popular book series by Veronica Roth has been compared to similar movie adaptations like The Hunger Games and Twilight. Both of those brought in higher figures on their opening weekends. Divergent is, though, the second largest opening of the year so far, behind the Lego Movie. A sequel is already planned for the second of 3 books in the series, Insurgent. Also premiering over the weekend was Lady Gaga's video for her new single, Guy. The video debuted on NBC's Dateline on Saturday. The nearly 12-minute-long video took 6 days to shoot at Hearst Castle in California. Gaga and her family are donating $250,000 to help promote and preserve the castle. Guy comes from Gaga's 3rd album, Art Pop, and will be released on April 8th. Well, Kim Kardashian's dream of gracing the cover of Vogue magazine has finally come true. She and fiancé Kanye West will appear on the front page of April's issue. Kim tweeted, "This is such a dream come true. Thank you, Vogue magazine, for this cover. OMG, I can't even breathe." The shot was taken by photographer Annie Leibovitz. In it, Kim is dressed in a white gown resembling a wedding dress, while Kanye is in a blue suit. The Kim Ye Vogue cover, of course, would not be complete without a hashtag, world's most talked about couple. And that's all your entertainment news this week. I'm Leslie Adami.
Thanks, Leslie, and thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Taylor Hampton.
And I'm Rachel Robillard. For news and weather updates throughout the week, you can follow us on Twitter at KVR News.
Stay tuned for College Press Box up next. Texas Student Television, as well as live broadcasts through the week on 24/7. Have a great night.